So, who are you?
My name is Jana van Tonder.
How old are you?
I am 43 years old.
And where were you born?
I was born in Bloemfontein in the Orange Free State in South Africa.
And where did you live for your childhood?
I grew up for the first 3 years in Bloemfontein and then moved to Pretoria, which is located in the province of Transvaal in South Africa.
And when did you move to Canada?
September 1997.
And how long have you lived in Canada?
Since that time, so 16 years.
And what is your understanding of the term globalization?
I would take that as people not just staying in their own country but moving around and people being more interconnected that way.
Okay. So, do you have any strong relationships?
Yes, I do.
And who with?
Strongest would be with my family, my husband and my children.
And why is it strong?
I think it just is because I love them like no tomorrow and like nobody else, and they're an integral part of my life.
Were there any dramatic experiences that affected you?
I've been pretty fortunate, so I think to this point, the most dramatic would have been when I moved here from South Africa.
And why is that dramatic to you?
It's the realization of that you'd never really fully understood how important family is in your life. And if you move away and you don't have that close connection, you're not able to go visit them often, spend time with them, that you then realize what you had and how much you missed out.
What is a constant event that you do every day or every so often? So, what's a habit you do? Like just anything. Like, do you go to
Um, I like reading. I like reading up and seeing I quickly check the news, see what's going on. I like to see if there's some news from family. Um, I should go for a run.
And why do you do this? Why are these traditions for you?
I think there's some comfort and familiarity, or you just do something that kind of keeps you sort of on track. It's kind of you put everything that's familiar to yourself just in place again.
Okay.
I think it's just a habit.
Were you a teenager my age?
Mm-hmm.
What type of clothes did people wear? And what type of clothes did you wear when you were my age?
Well, I grew up in the 80s, so we wore things that looked like Madonna's clothes. We had big hair and big plastic earrings and bright colors, and so those were kind of clothes.
So did you present yourself in the same fashion?
As what?
As what you just explained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't do the underwear thing, but.
Why was it? Is because it was like most people did it. It was like now, if people wear jeans.
You was a lot of your friends did it. It was kind of the look that everybody did, and you felt connected and you felt that you belonged.
How does Canada and South Africa differ in land?
Like in land?
Or climate, weather, whatever you think of.
Okay.
How does it change?
Meaning how South Africa's climate different from here?
Yes, and like how does it look and how is it different?
Okay. Well, South Africa has a wide variety of climates in a very small, relatively small area. There's in the span of 2,000 kilometers, there would be areas that's extremely arid and just completely desert with sand dunes, and ranging to places that are tropical with forests and dense, lush plant life and forests. The summers there are quite long, and it's usually here from September lasting until April would be the summers. The temperatures would be about 32. In winter, if it gets really cold, it's about 18. And winter's just very short. We don't get any snow at all. If it really gets extremely cold at night in winter, it only gets to about 0 degrees. We do a lot of outdoor sporting activities, so it's quite a bit different.
And how does this affect you? This change?
Well, it's an adjustment because you have to learn to live indoors a lot more. You can't just go outside and have sun. So initially, especially when it was cold and cloudy when we moved here, I kind of struggled with that because you really miss the sun.
What were some key roles in your life or in society that affected you greatly? So were there key guidelines, key things you followed? Like were there rules made by your parents? Were there
Mm-hmm.
made rules by your society? And what were they?
Okay, well, first off, it was the rules with my parents. It was as long as we live under their roof in their home, we had to abide by their rules. When we were in school, we were brought up very strict. We had to completely follow all the rules. You weren't allowed really to question those rules or question authority. So that really shaped a lot of how we thought and did things. So we didn't really question people. We accepted a lot of things that we were told without really thinking about it. And in retrospect, those weren't always good things.
Have you ever experienced something supernatural? Like a feeling that something was out there that was greater than yourself?
Yes, but I'm religious, so I do have that.
What was that feeling? What was it?
No, it's just that overwhelming feeling that you have that you're not alone. And that, for instance, if you just even go outside sometimes and you just stand still and you look around yourself and you just think, well, there is, if you just see the beauty in something, that you can see there is something bigger here that created all of this.
What type of beliefs did you grow up with? And how has it shaped you in your life?
I grew up with strong Christian beliefs, and I think, I know in a large degree that shaped me as to how I treat others, how I approach other people, basic ways of thinking about things, doing things, helping me to decide to not do things.
Mm. So through which things did people express themselves through? So like music, dance, paintings, whatever you can think of. How did people express themselves when you were my age?
Um, well, pretty much the same as today. You know, we didn't have the access to iTunes, but growing up in South Africa, we'd have what we call voortrekker dansen, and it was kind of almost like people would do line dance here. That was a very traditional kind of dance in South Africa that we used to do. We listened to South African traditional music, but mostly we listened to music on the radio, and that was Madonna and Alphaville and Aha, and, you know, all the American guys we used to, and British pop stars we used to listen to a lot. So a lot of the same kind of things that kids do today.
Did this make you express yourself in a certain way or no?
Well, I think you know what you emulated your pop stars that you liked. So you know we love Madonna, so a lot of what we did, our hair or our clothing, would be kind of modeled after that.
How did people speak when you were younger? Was there slang?
Respectful. When we were younger, children were a lot more respectful of adults in how they talked to them, and it was just because of our upbringing. We would never ever call people on their first name. There's nothing wrong with calling an adult on their first name, but I think we were just very. It was a lot more formal the way
Okay.
in which we addressed
Did this
older
u-
people.
did this unite you to any group at all or
No,
anything? No.
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 Mm.
Yana's identity displays that her love for her family is astronomical. This quality demonstrates that no possession is higher than her family. She explains that if she loses her family, she loses a part of herself. This influence her as the choices she makes must be thoroughly thought out in case it would affect that part of her identity. This factor of identity shows that her family is a key aspect of who she is. Leaving her home betrays that her connection with them has become very stretched, as living far from them makes it difficult to be together. However, this experience has forced Yana to understand the importance of things while they are there, because we never realize the importance of something until it's gone. Traditions explain that keeping up with society helps Yana in her everyday life. It keeps her connected and gives her the ability to help in certain situations. It also influences her choices as new events occur every day, thus providing new information. This means that Yana is able to base her choices on this information, so that it will benefit the people that surround her. The type of attire worn by Yana when she was younger demonstrated that she chose to represent herself as someone else. As Madonna was a teen idol in the 80s, people thought that dressing as someone else made them fit in. But since then, Yana has realized that being herself was more important. This realization meant that she was now able to express herself in a way she wanted to be seen as, influencing the views of others of their perspective on Yana. This fact of identity is a constant change for most people, as seasons change every so often. Before the switch of location, Yana's relationship to land was consistent due to the lack of change in South Africa. It allowed her to become more involved in the outside world. However, moving to Canada modified her identity as her lifestyle was changed. Her common outdoors lifestyle became an indoor one. This influenced the choices made when it came to buying things in each season. For example, Yana had to buy winter clothes instead of shorts and t-shirts, as the winters in Canada can be very harsh and brutal at times. Rules made by Yana's society and parents molded her into who she is now, a person who would always follow these rules and never dare break them. This trait has led her to teach her own children the exact same lesson. On the other hand, though, she has also taught them to never not question authority, as she explains that no good can come from not asking them. Yana is able to see that everything surrounding her was created by something larger than herself. She quotes us seeing the beauty in something, shows that there is something bigger here. This demonstrates her ability to look at the big picture that surrounds her, and the ability to think outside the box on how the world was created. This influences her perspective on the things she sees in her everyday life. In this section, Yana explains how this factor of identity has affected her life, such as how she treats others, approaches others, and has different ways of thinking, influencing her actions, choices, and thought process. Her strong Christianity and faith has led her down a path towards a successful and happy life. According to Yana, the types of arts are typically the same. However, in each region of the world, there's a few specific arts that are unique to that area. For example, the type of dancing music in South Africa described by Yana was a key type of art that most people enjoyed. This example created a part of her identity because it displayed her dislikes and her likes in art. However, moving to Canada changed this part of her identity, as different types of art were present in Canada, thus changing her likes and dislikes. Language in society has changed significantly over the past couple of years, as Yana illustrates that speech usage has moved from respectful and strict to a laid-back and neglectful manner. This has influenced the conversations with teen people, and how their views on that person are shaped. Furthermore, Yana says that she is not connected to anyone through the use of language, but she is mistaken, as language connects us to everyone who we speak to. A set of information is given through this, and we are able to create a bond with that person. Globalization has the ability to impact the identities of everyone. It is also able to unite those around the world in the realization that everyone has the same basic needs. They come together to create a global village in which they then take direct part in global issues. Yana is connected to this village through these factors of identity. One key contributor to this village is language. It allows citizens to voice their opinions and give advice on what needs to be done to solve these issues. These ideas present an alternate path to which would lead to differing results. Thus, Yana is able to sort through these opinions and determine which is best suited for her lifestyle. Secondly, Yana's beliefs and values differ from those in this global village. It may make it easier or harder to connect with different people, as they also have differing beliefs. Therefore, globalization has given her the opportunity to meet new people and see their values and beliefs, thus changing her own. This would lead to a change in decision making and thought processing, ending in a change of direction in her life.